You don't need to be a first-time buyer to make a rookie mistake, but skipping the home inspection? That single choice can wreck your wallet, your peace of mind, and your dream of homeownership. Let's break down 10 real reasons why skipping an inspection in Hampton Roads could cost you thousands, and how you can stay one step ahead. Let me paint this picture. Brand new home, just staged, smells like fresh paint and sawdust. You walk in and think, how bad could it be? No one's even lived here yet. That's what my clients in Suffolk thought too. They loved the open concept living room, granite countertops, walk-in pantry, the whole nine. Builder said everything was to code. They waived the inspection to stay competitive. Fast forward to the first big rainstorm, there's a drip from the ceiling. A month later, mold in the walls. HVAC wasn't vented properly. Insulation was missed in the attic, all hidden behind the shine of brand new. Total fix? Over $11,000. Inspections aren't just for old homes. They're for every home. We live in a beautiful area, but between the humidity, the salt air from the bay, and our storm seasons, it's a rough ride for homes, especially older ones. One buyer loved a cute coastal bungalow near Virginia Beach. It had been recently updated. New floors, fresh cabinets, looked like a steal. But when we brought in the inspector, salt corrosion on pipes, mold behind drywall, HVAC rusted through underneath from moisture, the seller had no idea. He hadn't lived there in months. 2 weeks later, it was under contract again. No inspection this time. Someone else will inherit those issues, and they won't be cheap. In Hampton Roads, termites are like uninvited guests that never leave. You may not hear them, but they're working 24/7 behind the walls. A buyer I worked with in Chesapeake decided to skip the inspection. The house was vacant, clean, and well kept on the surface. Within 3 months, he noticed sloping floors and windows that wouldn't close properly. The issue? Termites. They had eaten away key support beams under the flooring. The cost of repair? Over $6,500, plus hotel costs for 2 weeks during repairs. Don't assume cleanliness equals safety. Termites don't care how cute your kitchen is. You think a disclosure form tells the full story? Not quite. I had a client fall in love with a Cape Cod near Norfolk. The seller said no known roof issues on the form. We decided to inspect anyway. The inspector found poorly done patch jobs around the chimney and water pooling near one gutter line. Turns out the flashing was failing. Water damage had started creeping into the attic insulation. That report helped us negotiate a full roof replacement before closing. The seller wasn't lying. He just didn't know. And that's exactly why you need someone to know for sure. A home inspection isn't just a list of what's wrong. It's a tool, and it can save you serious cash. A couple I helped in Hampton fell in love with a 1970s ranch. Everything felt right, but the inspector flagged aluminum wiring and an HVAC unit on its last leg. That gave us the leverage to go back to the seller and shave $10,000 off the price. That's money they later used to upgrade the systems at their own pace, with no panic. Without the inspection, they'd have discovered that stuff after moving in, and it would have been all on them. Some of the most expensive issues in real estate start underground. Foundations don't always send a clear warning sign. A family I worked with in Chesapeake waived their inspection to beat a competing offer. 6 months after closing, they noticed cracks forming in the drywall. Doors started sticking. The floor had a noticeable slope. Soil movement under the slab was causing foundation shift, a known issue in parts of our area. Fixing it meant jacking the foundation, reinforcing it with piers, and weeks of construction. Final cost? $18,000. And guess what? That would have been flagged on day one by a good inspector. We all love a spa-style bathroom with subway tile, rainfall showers, and brushed gold hardware. But good looks don't mean good pipes, especially when what's behind the walls is decades old. I once showed a home in Newport News that looked straight out of a renovation show. Pinterest-perfect lighting, tile patterns that were on trend, and fresh grout in every direction. But under the house, cast iron piping nearing 60 years old, cracking, leaking, and rusting away from the inside out. If the buyer had skipped the inspection, they'd have faced sudden leaks, sewer backups, and $12,000 worth of repair bills, plus the chaos of tearing out brand new floors. Because those Instagram-worthy finishes? They don't help when raw sewage floods your floor and you're scrambling for an emergency plumber on a holiday weekend. One of my buyers almost purchased a mid-century home without checking the wiring, thinking, if it's working, it must be fine. Thankfully, they decided to inspect. The inspector found ungrounded outlets in the kitchen and bathrooms, a panel that hadn't been updated since the 80s, and breakers that were overloaded with mismatched fuses. One spark, one overloaded appliance, and it could have been a full-blown house fire waiting to happen. They ended up getting a $7,000 credit at closing and rewired the house before move-in. They avoided danger, insurance issues, and the high cost of emergency electrical work. Electrical issues aren't just expensive, they're dangerous. Don't assume that just because the lights turn on and the outlets work, everything's safe. Because when it comes to electricity, what you can't see can hurt you. From the sidewalk, everything looks great. Fresh shingles, clean gutters, and no obvious sagging. But inspectors actually get up on the roof. And that's where the truth lives. A family bought a home in Virginia Beach without an inspection, relying only on curb appeal. 3 months later, their ceiling started bubbling from a leak. Then the paint began peeling. Turns out, the flashing around their chimney was cracked. The underlayment was thin, and the shingles were lifting due to poor installation by a previous contractor. What looked like a solid roof was just surface level. A quick fix turned into a full roof replacement, $9,000 gone in a blink. They told me later, we thought the roof looked new. It was 4 years old but installed poorly. Visuals lie, inspections don't. And what you see from the driveway isn't the whole picture. Sometimes an inspection doesn't reveal major problems, and that's the best case scenario. And when that happens, it's not a waste of money. It's an investment in peace of mind. I had a buyer purchase a 1930s bungalow in Portsmouth. He was nervous about the age, but smart enough to inspect. He wanted to know what he was getting into. It came back clean, just a few minor updates needed, no big surprises. He moved in confident, no sleepless nights, no unexpected costs, no sinking feeling after closing, just gratitude and peace of mind every time he walked through the door. That's what a good inspection buys you. Clarity. You know what you're walking into. No guesswork, no fear, just home that feels right. If you're buying a home in Hampton Roads or thinking about it, don't roll the dice on your future. A home inspection isn't an extra, it's essential. If you found value in this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I share real-world advice here every week, practical info you can act on. Got a story about a home surprise or an inspection that saved the day? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if you want to work with someone who knows what to look for, reach out. Me or my team, we've got your back. Check the description for my contact info, and let's talk about your next smart move.